Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group C. For this time, we are gonna explain to you the topic oral test from the subject language assessment. So here, member of the Group C, Mutiafiko Dian Septiafani, Nura Azizah, and Wela Suryadi. So first, I will explain to you the concept of oral test. An oral test, also known as an oral exam or VIVA-VOS, is a test that evaluates a student's knowledge and skills through verbal communication. It focuses on assessing various aspects of language use, including pronunciation, fluency, grammar, vocabulary, and overall communication skill. Unlike written assessment, oral tests provide a dynamic and interactive platform to gauge a student's real-time language proficiency. The student has to answer the question in such a way as to demonstrate sufficient knowledge of the subject to pass the exam. The next objective of oral test. So the purpose of an oral test is to assess the student's ability to demonstrate their knowledge, problem-solving skills, and communication skills. Oral tests can also help prepare students for professional challenges by improving their critical thinking and oral communication skills. The primary objective of an oral test assessment are to: the first, assess speaking proficiency by evaluate a student's ability to express ideas clearly, coherently, and articulately in spoken language. Next is to identify strengths and weaknesses, pinpoint areas where the student excels and where they may need improvement. Number 3, provide feedback over constructive feedback to help students enhance their language skills. Number 4, monitor progress, track students' language development over time and assess the effectiveness of teaching methods. And the last, promote language learning, encourage students to practice and improve their speaking skills.
Okay, the next material continued by me, Aziza. Stage of oral test assessment. 1. Preparation stage. Test design. Develop a clear test plan outlining the specific objectives, tasks, and assessment criteria. Task selection. Choose appropriate tasks that align with the test objectives and the student's proficiency level. Material preparation. Prepare any necessary materials such as pictures, prompts, or discussion topic. 2. Test administration stage. Introduction. Welcome the student and explain the test format and procedures. Warm up. Engage the student in a brief conversation to establish rapport and reduce anxiety. Task completion. Administer the selected task, providing clear instruction and necessary support. Recording. Record the student's performance for later analysis and feedback. 3. Scoring and evaluation stage. Scoring criteria. Use a well-defined rubric to assess the student's performance based on specific criteria such as pronunciation, fluency, grammar, vocabulary, and communication skills. And rating. Assign scores or ratings to each criterion, providing a holistic assessment of the student's overall performance. Feedback. Provide specific and constructive feedback on the student's strengths and weaknesses. 4. Reporting stage. Report generation. Compile a comprehensive report summarizing the student's performance, highlighting key strengths and areas for improvement. Feedback provision. Share the report and feedback with the students and relevant stakeholders, for example, teachers and parents.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Fanny, and I want to explain about the third point is designing an oral test instrument. So in the designing and assessment using oral test instrument involves several important structure steps. So here are the steps. The first is define learning objectives. In the define learning objectives, there are 2 points that used to define learning objective. First is identify the expected outcomes, and the second is align with curriculum. Identify the expected outcomes. It means determine the skills and knowledge you want to evaluate. For example, is the focus on speaking ability, language comprehension, or critical thinking. So you can choose for the one. The second is align with curriculum. Ensure that assessment objectives are aligned with the applicable curriculum standards. The second is oral test forms. In the oral test form, there has 2 types. The first is structure versus structured and unstructured. For example, question for structured questions. What do you think about the food, or something like that? And unstructured questions, for the example, is tell me about your experience with. So it is used to reference seniors to measure communication skills in real situations. And the third is design and assessment rubric. So for this point, it has 4 points. The first is clear assessment criteria, listening skills, critical thinking skills, and for the last is rating scale. In the point clear assessment criteria, specify the aspect to be assessed, such as speaking abilities, flow, vocabulary, and then the pronunciation. The second is listening skills. Listening skills, how to respond to questions or comments. And the third is critical thinking. In the critical thinking, we use argument, development, and problem solving. And the fourth is rating scale. Create a scale to assess each criterion. For example, point number 1 until 5 with clear description for each point. For example, 1 is good, 5 is very good, 4 just good, 3 enough, 2 not bad, 1 very bad. And the 4, we next to the next slide. The first, prepare question and materials. Prepare a variety of questions to avoid boredom and assess different aspects of speaking skills. For example, the next point is supporting materials. In the supporting materials, prepare the material that can be used to reference or background to help participants answer. And the 5 is simulation and testing. In the simulation and testing, there has 2 points. The first is instrument testing, and the second is adjustment. For instrument testing, conduct a simulation to test the effectiveness of the instrument. This can involve inviting a few students to try it out and get feedback. And the second adjustment, based on the result of the pilot test, make adjustment to the questions or rubric if needed. 6 is test execution. It has 2 points again. The first is give a clear information and then create a comfortable atmosphere. So in the give clear information before the test, share the purpose and format of the test with participants so they know what to expect. And the second is create a comfortable atmosphere. So create a create a sportive atmosphere so that the participants will comfortable when they are in the front of the students, like speaking or presentation. And the next slide is evaluation and feedback. To design an oral test instrument, we need to evaluation and feedback. There has 2 points again: provide feedback and revise the improvement if necessary. In the provide feedback, after the test, give constructive feedback to participants so they can focus on strengths and areas that need improvement. And the second is revise the instrument if necessary. Use the feedback from the test result to improve the instrument in the future. The last is documentation. In the documentation, we need to record assessment results. So this can help keep good records of assessment result and document participants' progress in the over time. So that's all about the so that's all about presentation from our group. We are from group 2. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.